Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie, and welcome to another episode of T-Shirt of the Day. This is the show where I show you what T-shirt I'm wearing and why the band has some kind of significance in my life or why I love them so much. And we're going to start the show off with a band that I have loved ever since I first really got into them in 1980 with their third album. The T-shirt that I have is not that third album, although I should be wearing that T-shirt, but it's their fourth album that I consider the band's best. And normally I don't wear album cover T-shirts, but since this is the only one that really caught my eye, I'm going to show you my T-shirt of the day, and that would be Squeeze, East Side Story. That's right, Squeeze, one of the absolute greatest pop bands ever. We're talking... they're right up there with the greatest power pop bands, the greatest, guitar pop bands, great singer-songwriters in Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford. This particular album featured Gilson Lavis on drums, John Bentley on bass, and Paul Carrick over here on keyboards and vocals. Of course, this is the album that has Tempted, but it's also got other great songs like Someone Else's Heart, In Quintessence, Woman's World, Is That Love? So many great songs. It's my favorite Squeeze album, and it's in my top 20 favorite albums of all time. It is so absolutely tremendous. If you want a pop album filled with variety and heart and joy, then you would definitely want to get Squeeze East Side Story. The album was produced by Elvis Costello, and although at least one track was produced by Dave Edmunds, from what I've read, they were originally going to be doing a 2-record album, and each side of the album was going to be produced by a different producer. One of them was Elvis Costello, another one was Dave Edmunds, another one was Nick Lowe, and the fourth was Paul McCartney. But of course, they whittled it down to a 1-record album, and out came East Side Story, one of the greatest pop albums of our generation. So wonderful, filled with great melodic tracks. You're going to love it. Difford and Tilbrook were called the Lennon and McCartney of their era, and I would not deny that. I don't think anybody should be compared to the Beatles, because that's something very, very heavy. No one's going to be able to live up to that. Especially Squeeze. Squeeze, after such a great album, they put out Sweeps from a Stranger, which is a good album, but it ain't East Side Story or Argy Bargy or Cruel for Cats. But Squeeze has put out great albums since. Difford and Tilbrook are still together. There's a new cast of characters in the band. So John Bentley, Gilson Lavis, and Paul Carrick are no longer with the band now, but such a great, wonderful history. This is one you should check out. There's maybe 1 or 2 Squeeze albums that I wouldn't recommend, but I would, if you stumble across them in the wild, just buy. Squeeze is a great band. Worth your time if you don't own anything by them. Definitely East Side Story. But that's it. That's my T-shirt of the day. I really appreciate you being here. And, I hope you've enjoyed this series. It's coming to a close until somehow I get more money and buy more T-shirts. But until then, I really appreciate you. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.